paradigm shift, and peak energy and high involvement. In the corporate world, he served in various capacities, and to name a few: national head, trainer, regional manager, sales officer, sales head, and so on. He has won many awards in speech contests at district and divisional levels. It's our pleasure to have him as the guest speaker of this session. On behalf of Disciples India Learning Forum, I heartily welcome him to deliver his speech. Welcome, and over to you, sir. You can start the session, please.
Mr. Shiv Kumar, you can start the session now. The session is yours.
Sir, I think there is some technical glitch.
Yes. He'll be joining the session now. Dear participants, give us some time. Yes, he has joined.
I'm sorry, I just got logged out.
Yes.
So thank you, Rupashri madam, for that lovely, wonderful introduction. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Can I hear
sir.
some noise?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah, I'm making this little interactive. So can I share my screen now?
Yes, sir. You can share your screen.
I
I'll
can
just
go.
log out.
1 second. Yeah.
Yes.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So once again, good evening, everyone. So, I mean, we talk about success and results. In success in modern life, we always talk about losers and winners, right? We have the habit of treating everything in dichotomy. By dichotomy, what I mean is we always compare like day and night, black and white, whether Virat Kohli or Sachin Tendulkar, whether Amir Khan or Shahrukh Khan. So we always, get into this debate of, we give more importance to winning. It's a rat race. We call it a rat race. Everyone wants to be a winner, which is, in my opinion, it's not something, which is healthy. So before I get into the real presentation, I want your participation. All of you know jumbles, right? We have a word, and the spelling will be, misplaced. So I want you to help me to think a little bit. Let us see if you can. If you can find it out, absolutely fine. What is this word?
Listen.
Fantastic. Who said that?
Me, sir, Dr. Rupashri.
Yeah, because since I'm using my screen, I can't see I can't open the chat box. So thank you so much, Rupa ma'am. Listen, there is one more word in that. Listen is correct.
Silence.
Yes. There are two words in that, silent. So what does that mean? Both people are, correct, right? There could be more than one answer for any question, or not only one answer. There could be multiple answers. So I'll just again, so it's listen, it's silent. I'll give you one more exercise. Okay, I will tell. There are two words in that, again, like the earlier one. One is teacher. Okay. The second is more interesting. It is cheater. So the same thing, there are two words. One is teacher is, on the top of the pyramid. and cheater is not something we actually accept. So that's quite interesting. Again, what do you see in this picture?
A lady.
What kind of a lady? Which answer is true. What kind of a lady?
Probably a Western lady seeing the other side.
Okay. There are two ladies in that. Can anyone see both ladies? One is a young lady and one is an old lady. Some of us only see the young lady. Some of us only see old lady. There is nothing wrong in it. It's basically, at that moment we are seeing that way. It's your perspective at that point of time. This is actually two people arguing who is right and who is wrong. Both are right. Both are right. So most of the time, in our conversations, we are like this. We always want to hold on to our point of view. I'm seeing this as 9, so this is 9. I'm seeing this as 6, this is 6. So there are 3 sides to every story. One is your side, second is my side, and maybe third is the truth. Can anyone tell me what you see here?
A red dot.
Red dot.
Okay. Now?
Black.
A black dot. Normally, this was an experiment done by a teacher. A teacher took a white canvas like this and put a small dot on that. And teacher asked all the students to talk about it. So every student was focusing on the black spot on the whiteboard. The teacher then asked, why no one is talking about the large white space in that board? The black dot is only a small part of the board. So the same thing in us also. We most of the time, as a human being, you, me, everyone has got a tendency. That is how the society has brought us. We always look for the negative. Everything, it's a negative. So it's very difficult to find the positive. So that's how we've been wired. So this was an experiment done in a classroom, and teacher was explaining about finding the positive or looking the positive in people than looking for that minor part. In this, if you look at the white canvas, maybe this spot is only just represent 2% of that. The remaining 98% is white. So again, I'm coming to the same point. Is what does this mean? What is this? We all of us do know we blame others or we point fingers at others. You are the reason. You are the reason for this. You are the reason for that. So but most of the time we forget that when we point a finger to someone, what happens? This picture says that when we point one finger, there are 3 fingers pointing towards us. So most of the time, it is not the other person. It is, focusing towards ourselves. We are, Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. All of us want other persons to change. We want, our teachers to change. We want our office to change. We want our boss to change. We want our spouse, children, whatever it is, husband, anyone, like wife want to change. But nobody wants to change themselves. We say, so again, coming to this, we all have a habit of, saying, okay, I love your cooking. The husband says to the, but, there was it was spicy. We always add a but. The boss says, I like your design. I like the project you said, but you need to change this. You need to change that. So when this is unknowingly, all of us use this but in our conversation. When you say yes, you are agreeing to the person. But when you start saying but, you are pushing away every positive things you said. The person will not even think about or remember about the positive things you said. he or she will only remember about that but and the next part only. So this is something, we as individuals can consciously imbibe in our day-to-day conversation, which is very important. I said, don't think about a white elephant. I'm sure every one of you thought about white elephant, right? Our brain works that way because the brain does not have that capacity to remove that don't, that word. So most of the time, when we talk to people about negative things, that negative thing is reinforced. When we talk to children, when you talk to our own friends or colleagues, anybody, when we talk in negative things, we speak with a good intention. Our intention is, when I say don't think about white elephant, my intention is please don't think about white elephant. But invariably, result is, I am compelling you to think about white elephant. Look at the cricket field. A good batsman. I don't know whether you know about the batsman called Ricky Ponting, of the former Australian captain. He was a great batsman. So once he was asked, how do you find so many, runs, because, you always find gaps in the field. So if you look at this picture, you can see fielders. Normally, what a batsman normally he looks for the fielders, But Ricky Ponting said, I don't look at the fielder. I look only the gaps. I see only the gaps. That's where I hit the ball. So wherever you focus your energy, whatever you do, go in that direction. If you're focusing on the fielder, you actually hit towards the fielder. But if you focus on the gap, the vast space between the fielders, you will be able to hit that. So it's about what do you have to say instead of yes, but. You can say yes, but avoid but and say and. Yes, I like your speech, or I like the way you solve the problem. And you can think this way, or you can add this element. You can think of writing this way. You can add anything. Then whatever you said in the first place has got a stronger importance, and whatever you are saying, like a improvement or a suggestion, people will have a tendency to accept rather than saying yes, but. What is this? Anyone can tell me?
13.
13. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Anybody else?
And it looks like B also.
Okay. Any other answers?
Logo of McDonald's.
Wow, that is a beautiful answer. I have never even I never thought about that. Seriously, this is something, very interesting. When you said McDonald's, I'm saying, wow, it is true also. Yeah. So maybe another answer also. Yeah. Anyone, you like the Mentos, what do you call the Mentos? Anyone remember the tagline of the Mentos advertisement? You must have seen that, in television, the Mentos.
दिमाग की बत्ती जला दे.
Very like. So थोड़ा दिमाग पर बत्ती जलाओ. 13 is all are correct answers. 13 is an answer. B is an answer. And someone said, I like that also. McDonald's logo also. This is correct. Okay. Now what do you say now? Now what do you say? What is it's not an answer, but now in this context, what do you say?
B.
It is B. So it is. What is that? It is basically what it means is when that, I will not say it is 13 or B or McDonald's. I would say when that particular thing was placed in between A and C, we read it as B. Right? So what is this? This is a drop of water. When it rains, it's a drop of water, right? Can you drink that drop of water? It's a pure water from rain. Can we drink it? Yes, right?
19 participant.
And what is this? This is a hot metal, right? If that same drop which is fallen on the hand falls on that hot metal rod, it will immediately vaporize. It immediately vanishes, right? What is this? This is again the same drop of water on a leaf petal. Look at it. It is shining as a pearl. So beautiful, right? Look at that, marvelous, drop of pearl on that leaf petal. It's so enchanting for the eyes. And what about this same drop of water in an ocean? It becomes the part of the ocean, right? So here, like earlier we said that A, B, C, the same B can be 13 or the McDonald's based on the context. Again,
ಕಟ್ಕೋತೀನಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕತ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ.
kindly mute, please. So the same drop of water based on the context where it falls has got a different meaning. So the value of this same water is based on the association. What I am trying to come to the point is the association you have, the people you keep around you, whoever that may be. I always say that don't walk away from negative people. Run away from them. Just run. Do not try to keep negative people in your life. It is what happens when you keep a rotten apple in a bag of other apples. Other apples get rotten faster. The rotten apple will never get changed by the other apple. It's other way around. This picture has got two meanings. One is this could be a person or something breaking the heart, or it can be viewed as someone joining the heart. So it is basically how you look at it. So this is basically what I'm trying to, again, through this point is, there are people in our life where they break our heart or they join our heart. There are people who soothe us. There are people who pull us down. It is quite important to understand and allow the right people to stay in your life. Same thing also, this is battery is nothing but I'm talking about your own battery, your own energy level. The three things resources which we have is time, energy, and and our health. So this is your battery is there are people who drains your battery, and there are people who refreshes your battery. And there are people who give you stress, always give you stress. And there are people who give you peace also, as kind of, composure, confidence giving, people who give you hope, people who give you encouragement. So what does it mean? If you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room. Most of the time, we are comfortable because if I am the smartest person in the room, then I don't have any challenges, right? I'm always the boss. It's like I'm always the boss, or I am the head of the family, or I am the top student in the class. I'm the top performer in the company. If you are in the smartest person, that means, what does it mean? You are not learning anything because you can only learn from others. For example, if you have one apple and I have one orange, suppose we both exchange. I give my orange to you and you give my apple to me. We still have the same, right? Only thing is exchange. We still have the same one apple and one orange. For example, if I have one idea and you have one idea, if we exchange that, I have two ideas and you have two ideas. It's not like, exchanging this apple and orange. Dalai Lama said, no, when you talk, you are only repeating what you already know. right? But if you listen, you may learn something new. We always want to talk, and we forget or we don't give importance to listening. God has given us two eyes and two eyes to observe and 2 ears also, and only one mouth. So our own body shape or body features suggest that we are supposed to listen and observe more than speak. God has not given us two mouth and one eye and one ear. So there is something, when the creator himself does something, there is a huge meaning in that. So listen more, observe more, and talk less. We need to express our views, we need to communicate, but it has to be, not at the expense of our own observation and listening. I tell you a small story, there was a boy, and the boy asked his father, what is the secret of happiness? So yeah. So the boy was asked, what is the secret of happiness? So the father said, you go around, there is a sage who is living in the mountain. You go and ask him, he will tell you the secret of happiness. So the boy began a journey and he climbed the mountain, and on the top of the mountain is a castle, a big castle, and this sage is living in that castle. He's a wise man with a lot of wisdom. The castle is a beautiful castle with garden, with a lot of rooms, paintings, music, fountain. It's a beautiful castle. So the boy asked asked the sage, can you tell me the secret of happiness? So the sage said, I don't have time to tell you because I'm right now a little busy doing something. So why don't you go around and see my castle? And what he said is, he gave him a spoon full of oil. He told him, no, you have to come back to the same place without even spilling a drop of the oil. So you go and see the castle. After some time, after 1 hour, the boy came back and his spoon was full of oil. He did not drop even a small iota of oil. So the sage asked, no, did you see the castle? So he said, no, I did not see the castle because I was focusing on the oil. So he said, don't worry. Now you go, you keep the oil with you, the spoon with you, and you go and see the castle. The boy again went and saw the beautiful castle, and he came back. Then the sage asked, did you see the castle? He said, it's a beautiful castle, fantastic view, fountain. I saw the fountain, I saw the garden, I saw the pictures. Then he looked at the spoon. The spoon was empty. All the oil had been spilled. So the sage said the secret of happiness is enjoying the castle at the same time without losing your drop of oil. So what does it mean in our life is, we are, so used to do many things in life. Like it's called multitasking, So it talks about focusing on things which is important to you. When you really focus on something which is really important to you, everything outside will not affect you. So here it is this is a 4-burner stove. What I mean by this 4-burner stove is it's called a 4-burner theory. When you have time also, you can look at the internet and understand. It's called 4-burner theory. This is we use it in the kitchen. So what it means is, these 4 burners, when you use a stove, can you use all the all the 4 burners at the same time? Yes, definitely you can use all the 4 burners. But the 4 burners will not give the same amount of flame if you use all the 4 burners together. For example, if you use only 1 burner and if you don't use other 3, it will give a stronger flame and you can cook the item quite faster. The same way, the 4 burners in your life are health, work, family, and friends. It means you cannot keep all the 4 equally. You cannot keep equally. You have to find a balance of out of these. Very what? If you most of the time people won't give importance to health. It's very important. When you are young, you will never know the challenges of health because your body is functioning so well. But when you see as you grow older, 30, 40, 50 and all, that's when you realize, the absence of good eating good food or the absence of exercises. Family. This is basically just an example. It can vary from people to people. People, you can give a 35, whatever it is. For example, if you're just focusing on, if you're an entrepreneur, if you have your own business, and if it is in the early stages of business, then work will take. Work maybe 70, 80, 90% of your time. It is a burner. That means your health, your family, and your friends will suffer. Most of us, because definitely happen. For example, for me, I had work also, and I had a good set of friends also. I was spending time with friends, quality time also. When I got married, when I had family, I had to spend time with my family. So you normally the time is the resource time is we all of us have 24 hours only. We cannot have 26 hours or 28 hours. So my spending time with my friends has become maybe 10%, 5% or 2%, whatever it is. Whereas my work and my family took a major chunk of my time. So we talk about multitasking. There is nothing called multitasking because your brain cannot do multiple tasks at the same time. Because if that what does it means is you're doing 2 things. For example, if you're drinking a coffee and then watching TV, that means you are drinking your coffee mechanically because you're not enjoying the tea. For example, if you drink the tea, suddenly you feel or the coffee is finished. You might wonder, oh my God, I drank the coffee, but you never know that you are. That means you're not enjoying what you're doing. So multitasking is always take away the joy of doing something. And it's called attention residue. What is attention residue? For example, if I have looked at WhatsApp, then I am moving into my computer, then I am moving into something. So whatever I have done earlier will have an impact on what I am doing now. There is a little amount of that distraction coming from the work which you have done earlier. So if you're a person who is completely switching from one to other, that means your attention residue will be more and your focus will suffer. This is something which I am I'm talking about very important in our life. Every day we have to make decision based on yes, no, yes, no. Finally, we spend a lot of time on that. And this is something, which most of us has got challenges with. Whether we should say yes or no. But the important thing is, and the beautiful thing is, the thing which we should all understand is, when you say yes, you have to say no to many things. Most of the time, we don't understand that. I would just say an example. If a student decide to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm just giving an example. So he or she is saying, yes, I want to get up at 5 o'clock. So you are saying yes. But the challenge is she or he has to say no. For example, if someone has to get up at 5 o'clock, he has to sleep at least about 10 o'clock. Minimum 10 o'clock. As a young person, you need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. So you have to say no to maybe your YouTube, your Netflix, and say again, you may have to, if you're sleeping at 10 o'clock, you may have to have a dinner at least at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, right? You cannot have a late night party. So that means it's not just yes, one yes, it is multiple no's we have to say. And the problem we face is we are not ready to say no to those things, and we want the yes. It does not work that way. If we have to say yes to one thing, we have to say multiple no's to other things, and we should have that strong will to say no to that. It's the same distraction I'm talking about. Same, all those, Instagram, Facebook, Netflix, Hotstar, these are all, things which takes away our time. This is nothing but C. But what C means is consume. In the modern life, they're all consuming. They're all consumers. Every time we are consuming, either we are consuming food or we are consuming a content. When you go to social media, you are just consuming. You are not aware of that. You are just consuming information. Lots of information is coming to your body, your mind. You are thrust with news. You thrust with negative information. Most of the time we are consuming passively. We are not knowing about that. We are actually consuming content passively. But do your success depend on whether you are a consumer or a creator? Are you creating something or are you consuming something? Even if you look at people who are doing YouTube, they are creating and they are making you as a consumer. Why Facebook is free? Why WhatsApp is free? Why Twitter is free? There is nothing free in this world, because they are making you as a consumer. There is a cost you are paying. If you are in all these platforms, they are trusting you with their advertisement, right? YouTube everywhere, they are getting a revenue. So who is smart? The smarter person is the person who is creating, not the person who is consuming. The same thing, like what happens with a dog with a bone. If the dog sees a bigger bone, what happens? The dog throws the smaller bone and goes behind that bigger bone. We always move from one shiny object to another shiny object. We will not complete that. We will not. We'll do something 20%, and we will move on to another thing. We do 30%, 40%. We never sit and focus and complete the task. This is something called creativity. I understood. I just came across. We all talk about ChatGPT. This person has used that. I'm talking about. This is called creating something. Creating. Using your brain or using your awareness. And create something, not just consuming something. So what we need is action. Only thing which sustains is action. I can read book, I can talk about it, but if I don't apply what I read, there is no point. If I have an idea, or as I said earlier, if I got 2 ideas, if I'm not implementing that idea, there is no result. There is no change. I'm the same person. I just want to talk about another story. This is a group of cow, and this is a group of buffaloes. Okay, so this particular happens because we don't see group of buffalo herd and the cow herd here. This is particularly happens in Colorado in US, America. The thing about Colorado is there are frequent storms coming there. So what happens is the behavior of the cow and the buffalo is totally different when a storm comes in. When a storm comes in from this direction, what the cow does is cow also goes in the same direction of the storm. That means cow is running away from the storm. So what happens? The storm is also following cow. So finally, anyway, the storm will catch up with this cow because the speed of the storm is faster than the speed of the cow. But again, the cow is again moving the same direction. The amount of time the cow spends in the storm is much bigger. Whereas the buffalo, exactly opposite, the buffalo runs toward the storm. So what happens? The storm is coming from this direction, buffalo coming from this direction. The suffering is there. Anyway, the buffalo has to be in the storm and there will be pain. But the amount of time the buffalo spend is much lesser than the amount of time spent by the cow because both of them are going in different directions. So the cow, because of its behavior of running away, suffers more than the buffalo, which suffers less. Sometimes in our life, suffering is inevitable. We may have to go through suffering, but we can choose the amount of suffering. So be like the buffalo, not the cow. Talking about them, don't run away from fear. Go attack fear through action. Only most of us think that what I'm talking now is kind of a motivational speaker. Most of the time we think motivation can be followed with action. It is the other way around. Action only can, give you motivation. You can see that whenever you do something, you feel that sense of, relief or happiness. For example, if you clean your room, suddenly after cleaning the room, when you see that clean, neat, tidy room, you feel, that is when you get motivated. Then you can get the energy to do something else also, more. So the simple thing about that is taking baby steps. The baby, we all know, these are all simple things. Whatever I'm telling you is everything you know that. I know it, you know it. I'm just trying to remind you about anything that you already know that. I'm already trying to push that information to the top of your mind, or top of your awareness. We never call when a baby falls, do we call it as a failure? No, the baby does not know that. Baby, nobody has told about baby that you are failing. No, we encourage the baby. Come on, again. Again the baby stands up and falls. We again encourage. So then the baby knows. Okay, this is how. Suddenly, what happens? Baby, gets up, falls, get up. Suddenly, it understands about how to walk. So why don't we do that in our own, circle with our own people? Why don't we encourage people to fail? Because only way when you fail, you try again, you understand, then you again get the feedback, then again you try. That's how you learn. So fail is nothing but a first attempt in learning, like the baby. In baby, there is no failure. There is no failing. It's for the baby, it is the first attempt in learning. So anything you do, there is nothing wrong in failure. Failure is not just an event. It's not a person. When you attribute the failure to you, I am a failure, that's when you stop trying. Failure means, okay, I jumped, I fell down. It's okay. I must have learned something from that. Maybe I have to just little go back further and and jump. That's how you learn it. This is a bike, right? This is a bike which has to be started by kicking, right? It has to be kicked to start. And what is this new? This is a new bike. You don't have to kickstart. There is no kicker. All you have to do is, it's called self-start, right? So the earlier bike was kickstarting, now self-start. Many of us, in modern time, earlier days, kickstarting was okay because there was not much people, there was not much competition, not much, there are a lot of resources. So you always require someone to kick you to start. Now you have to start yourself. There is no one to kickstart you. So be like this scooter, not like this one. Don't wait for someone to kickstart you. Be a self-starter. So this is my way of talking about action. Action is anything, any change to improve ourselves now. It's now. Anything you want to do now. there is a saying that no, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. And the second best time to plant a tree is now. Any change to improve our nature. So only action can give you change. And when you do action, what happens? What is this? Can anyone say?
An ice cube.
It's an ice cube. Okay. So what happens, the ice cube, when you keep an ice cube in 26 degrees Celsius, ice cube remains as an ice cube. When you increase the temperature 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, the ice cube remains as an ice cube. Nothing, you don't see any change in the ice cube. You reach the temperature 32, what happens? Ice cube melt. So can you say that just that 1 degree was resulting in melting the ice cube? No, right? The same way you must have seen a stone cutter, a big stone, the cutter, the stone cutter hammers. And at the 100th hammering, the stone breaks into 2 pieces. Is that the 100th blow only, resulted in the breaking of the stone? No. It is all the 100 hammering. That is the understanding about action. When you go to a gym, you will not see muscle developing in 7 days, 15 days, and you stop going to gym. Because we are so used to immediate results. This all social media, everything, high internet, everything we want so fast. Everything we want immediately. We can't wait. We can't be in queue. We don't have the patience. So we are used everything. For example, if you listen to one music, you immediately change the next music. Then again, after 10 seconds of listening, you go to the another music. So we are wired for these fast results. So we don't have time for patience. So that is something which is actually preventing us from taking action, because we are used to get immediate action. In life, there is no shortcut. Like the ice, you cannot make the ice melt immediately. But even when you do 27 degree, 28, there is a change which the ice is storing the energy there. It's not melting, but there is some change happening which you cannot see. Even when you go to gym and do one exercise, there is some change in your body, but that change is invisible to you. It doesn't mean that, maybe after 7 days, 15 days, you might feel in your body. Maybe the other person cannot see. When you look at in the mirror, you will not see six-pack and, all the biceps. But as a person, you can feel a change in your health, the change in your breathing, the change in your energy. So that's the thing, same thing, when you take action. So this is about life, Sometimes what happens is we have to understand that we go behind something. I'm not saying money, wealth is important. Money, wealth is very important. Very, very crucial. But that is not the end of everything. Because, don't waste your time just for that. Find out, like, as I said earlier, your work is something, your family, your friends, your health is very important, because this is the only body we have. The only thing worse than not finding your talent or genius is you find it and then you waste it. That is the most tragedy of life, is that. So take action. Everything you, I, everyone knows that. But the person who move to success or who get results, the person at the end of the day who take the action. So I'm ready for any questions.
Dear participant, any questions?
You can ask anything. If I know something, I will share. That's it. We are not supposed to know everything, in the world. We all are people. There is something you know better than me. There is something, I know that you don't know. We are all, like that. We are all, work in progress. We are all learners. So it doesn't matter, and there is no stupid question or every question, is a question. There is a saying, a person who asks a question might look like a fool for 5 seconds, but a person who does not ask a question is a fool for his life.
So there's one question in the chat box.
Okay, I can't see. Can you just, yeah, please. 1 second, I'll just see the chat. Okay. What is the word? Can you just read that for me?
Probably you may not. Yes, I'll read it for you, sir. So,
Okay.
so what do you suggest on multitasking? Is it good or bad?
Same thing also. See, you cannot multitask. Basically, what you're doing, you're doing things, you're focusing on a shorter period of time. There is nothing called multitask. You can't do the multitask basically. Because our brain cannot focus on two things at the same time currently. What you're doing, you are doing something and you are taking your attention from something, and again you are doing. That's what we call multitasking. So what happens, for anything, for example, there is something creativity is required in your work. If you do multitasking, you cannot incorporate creativity. You can do mundane things. For example, I'm talking about, you are filling Excel sheet and you are doing something, that kind of, or you're watching a television, something, but you will not, if I ask you after that, what did you see in the television, they may not be able to tell you. Because, for example, it happens to me also. For example, I'll tell you an incident. Most of the time it happens. Suppose I'm coming from outside to my apartment. And before I open the door, I get a phone call. So I am on the phone call. And what happens? I open my apartment. I enter the apartment. I complete the talk, all those things. Meanwhile, I have kept my key somewhere. I don't know. Then after the talk, I don't know where I kept the key. So that means, otherwise, if there is no call at that point of time, I know where exactly I've kept the key. So that is what we're calling multitasking, but we don't know. Suddenly, for example, you are driving and you are thinking about something. Suddenly you have reached your office. You have come all the way through the road because you are not present there. So you have not, if I ask you what did you see in the road, you will not be able to tell. That's the same thing. Multitasking is, it's a wrong word actually people use, but there is nothing called multitasking.
Yes. I've been seeing a lot in the resumes also. Your strength is multitasking, they'll be writing down.
Sorry?
In the resumes, I'll be seeing the resume.
When I was working in the corporate also, I also at that point of time, because we've been wired that way. You have to be good in multitasking. It is nothing but you should be able to do multiple things. That's all. But again, now modern day, for example, if you're doing something creatively, you require your attention focus. Your brain has to work. You have to include something in that. That's where your signature comes in, right? When you do something creative, for example, if you're creating a logo or you're writing a story, or even you're writing a resume also, because your resume has to be something creative from your side. It has to stand out. So you have to focus on that. This is my opinion. I think there will be definitely as I said, there are no correct answers. There is a one side of the story, the other side of the story, and the real story also. So I'm not advocating anything. I'm just telling from my experience. This is just my opinion, I would say. I will not say this is an answer.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And another question is there. So can you explain again the 4 burners theory? And can we have the work-life balance in life?
Life balance or work-life balance?
Work-life they have written.
Okay, work-life balance. See, again, it's a simple metaphor to understand that why that 4 burner is if you cannot, the gas is there. The gas is our resource. It is our time and our energy. There are 2 things which is perishable in you. One is the time, second is your energy. That's why you have to go to sleep. You have to go to sleep recharge yourself, come back next day refreshed and do your work, right? So nobody has in the world has got that, unlimited energy and time. So that gas cylinder is your energy. So if you just use all the 4 burners, it may take, for example, if you put 4 pressure cooker in that 4 burners, I'm just example, it will take 30 minutes. I'm just giving you an example, 30 minutes to boil. For example, if you just put 1 burner and stop all the 3, you might be able to cook in 10 minutes or 5 minutes. So again, it is about your energy. First of all, there is nothing wrong in giving everywhere. Your energy is replenishable. Its energy is limited. You don't have energy. In the morning, if you start your work, by afternoon or by 30, your energy is coming down. So you have to take a decision which is important for you. For many people, depending on your status of your life, your priority will be different. As I said earlier, as a medical student who or she is in the first year or second year, her studies is more important. Her studies and her health is very important, right? These are the two, because if you eat good health, good food only, you have to sleep well, then only you can study better, right? So your priority, your burner is that time is your studies. For a new entrepreneur, making that whatever his company successful is the most focusing thing, right? A newly wed couple, their priority could be to understand each other. So spending more time with each other is more important. So depending on, but as a individual, understand the concept and utilize the concept for your benefit.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And another question by Mr. Srinivas. How do you handle stress and pressure?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. How you handle stress and pressure. For example, there are 3 things, we always talk about, which you can summarize in ASK. K is knowledge, S is your skill, and A is your attitude. So most of the time, what gives you confidence? When you are confident, it reduces your pressure and reduces your stress. I'm giving an example in the cricket field. Okay. For example, I was just 2 days back, I would say, I think the first match against Australia, Virat Kohli, tried to, use a pull shot. The ball went up. Mitchell Marsh dropped the catch, right? So after that match, Virat Kohli was continuously practicing the net at pull shot. So when you actually have the skill, of course, a different ball game. Since you have handled that in the nets, you are, my skills are better than earlier, which can give you a better confidence. It reduces your pressure and stress. That means you can perform better. You are not bogged down by the stress or pressure. Most of the time, the stress or pressure, because people say, be confident. No, it does not work that. People say, why are you taking stress? These kind of things does not work. For example, if a person is going on to stage and speak, I say, be confident, be cool. He will be stressed already. The only way, practice skill, practice things wherever, whether you are doing anything. For example, I'll just give you an example of a student. A student who has not studied will have pressure and stress, right? And as the exam date is nearing, he or she won't be able to concentrate because of the pressure and stress. It pulls you down, your performance. Whereas a student who has studied well also will have pressure, stress, but that stress and pressure will be comparatively lesser than the other student. So that's what I say. In life, there is no pill, there is no shortcut, there is no mantra to reduce stress or pressure. It is basically spend time with your skill, whatever it is, whatever is important for you. Spend time. If your relationship with your spouse or your colleagues are not good, spend time with them. and spend time with and reduce whatever it is, any area of your life. I don't. This is my opinion. I don't think there is any shortcut to reduce pressure or stress.
Thank you, sir. And
got
one
one
more
question.
question from Chandrasekhar Gowda. Sir,
Okay.
how do you take criticism by your known one?
Okay, this is a beautiful question. Thank you, Mr. Chandragowda, for asking that. Because criticism is, we are always criticizing each one of us, because that's human nature. Even if you go to Facebook, even if you watch one video, and if you go to the comment section, there will be people fighting in the comment section. Someone will say S.P. Balasubramanian is the best singer. Someone will say, no, Mohammed Rafi is, you can always see people fighting, criticizing each other. So you will only take it. Everybody wants to be praised. I want you to tell me that my presentation was very good. Everyone wants that. Everyone wants to get, applause, appreciation. That's our nature. But if I want to become a better speaker or a better presenter, I know I must have missed. I was focusing on my presentation, right? I must have made some mistakes, which I don't know. But as an audience, some of you might have observed. So if my intention is to become a better speaker, I need that feedback. It becomes your intention. If your intention is to become better version, not to compare to another person, you can't compare, because the other person is coming from a different situation, different atmosphere. I can only compare myself with what I was yesterday. I can only compare this presentation with my next presentation or my past presentation. So if I want to improve, I need feedback. I need criticize, constructive. That's called constructive criticism. It's like you're watering a plant. When you water a plant, what happens? It allows the plant to have flowers. But sometimes you can't uproot the plant. So you need to take that criticism as a water, because which is essential. If you take that as a uprooting, you destroy yourself. You stop it. So it is basically your why. Why I am doing that? I want to get better. Of course, but I would, again, when you give criticism, what you can do is, I am saying Shiva Prasad, I liked your project, and I tell you 3 good points. Shiva, you did this very well. You did this very well. You did this very well. I am telling him good things. And I am telling, continue that. Please continue all those 3 things you're doing. At the same time, if you focus on this, you can do a better job. So he will be in a better position to take that criticism or feedback. So which we call a sandwich. It's called a sandwich method. In sandwich, what happened here? Criticism is inside the sandwich. You have to cover that with praise. Praise means honest praise. You can find everything there is a positive. You can even any situation you can find the positive. But to find that positive, you have to tune your brain in that way. If you're a person who is seeing only negative things, you will not be able to see the positive things. So use positive things, then give a suggestion. Suggestion means honest. I want Shiva to improve. I'm not giving Shiva to improve to push him down. I want him to grow. So that sincere approach has to be there. Then your criticism will be taken positively. This is my opinion.
Thank you. And there's one more question from Samsung. If you can put your name, that will be of great help, Mr. Samsung. How a student can increase concentration in studies in the social world? The distractive social world.
See, concentration means we are in a society where we have lot of stimulations outside. Even though if I don't want external stimuli, but I am forced with a lot of external stimuli in the form of social media and other things. So basically, if you want to concentrate, one area is to shut down from those things. For example, if I'm keeping my mobile in my study table, I have a tendency to look in that one. So definitely my concentration will go back. So if I want, what I have to do is either I have to switch off or I have to keep it in silent mode and keep it in the next room without any notification. So the same way anything. For example, if you are using internet, don't use internet. Cut your internet so that you don't go to YouTube or other thing. I will tell you one simple technique one of the author uses. What the author uses is he takes his laptop fully charged. Okay, he's a writer. He goes to a cafe or a remote place where there is no electricity. He does not take his cable also. So he knows that my laptop charge will go in the next 2 hours. I cannot charge. So he knows that my next 2 hours is precious. So he'll work in that. When you know that, you take this, there are different methods, basically up to you also to decide, how you do it. There are a lot of techniques, people use that basically come from a commitment. And you understand what are your distractions and avoid that distraction. If your friend is a distraction, for example, if you're studying and your friend says, come on, let us go for a movie. That's a distraction. So you have to fight with the distraction. Again, that takes your energy, a lot of energy is taken to fight distraction. Temptation. Again, I said energy is limited. So use the energy very wisely. Don't allow yourself to fight with the distraction. For example, I'll just give you an example. You don't want to eat ice cream, okay? But if you keep the ice cream in your fridge, what happens? You'll be fighting with temptation, right? The best way is don't keep ice cream in the fridge at all. Don't buy ice cream. Don't buy ice cream at all. It's rather than keeping your ice cream, when you fight for temptation, you waste a lot of time. So concentration is the same thing also. Basically, ideally, but it's very difficult for parents to tell the youngsters, but make them understand. Make them understand. There are different ways of making them understand.
And one more question from Mr. David Vijay. Sir, according to you, what is success?
Okay. There is a simple quote I heard. Success is getting what you want, and happiness is wanting what you get. I'll explain that. For example, if I marry Aishwarya Rai, I am success. Success is getting what you want, but I may not get Aishwarya Rai. So it is basically liking what I get. It's basically liking my wife, my family, be happy with it. But at the same time, you have to work for it. Success for me is, at the end of the day, it is about creating experiences, positive experiences, so that you should be able to move forward. It's basically positive experiences. It can vary from person to person. For me, success is mostly about learning things, spending time with my family, relationship. For me, these are success. The money automatically comes. If I'm good in what I'm doing in that, I'll get continuously work. For example, if I am giving a workshop, if I do a committed workshop, not looking from my point of view, looking from that people who are attending the workshop. If I genuinely want to help them, then I will be a success. Because then my preparation will be wonderful. Because I will seriously prepare. I will not go to the workshop without preparing. I know that these people are spending 1 hour of their time with me. So I have a commitment to give something to their time. So it actually helps me to prepare and work on that. So for me that is success is something, for me it's commitment and your preparation and impacting others. You can't impact the world, even if you can make a small impact in one person's life. That's success, making a difference in someone's life. And there is again a beautiful quote by Winston Churchill. He said, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. I don't think there is another beautiful quote like this.
Thank you, sir. I'll take the last question
Okay.
by Mr. Srinivas. Okay, many questions are coming up now.
I mean, I have time. It's up to you to the people. If there
Yes.
are, I'll be happy to answer if I know. And it's my own opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Another question by Mr. Srinivas. Okay. Right. One second, I missed out. Okay. How do you decide what you want to do for a living?
We all of us, there is a thing which is very fashionable nowadays. People say, find your passion, do things which you love, but it's not easy to find, to understand what you love. Because for example, I'll give you an example of an actor. Okay? If you see an actor, you see only the glory side of the actor. You see the actor on the screen, people, celebrity, all those, the money he gets. We don't see the struggle of the actor, which is invisible. And not only that, acting is not an easy job. For example, an actor will have a one-page dialogue. He has to memorize the dialogue with emotions. So the actor has to prepare that scene. Maybe he has to prepare for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. We don't know. And the actor may be going for 50 takes also. We don't know. So what happens if I think, my passion is acting. But when I go to acting, I'm not ready to go through that struggle. And I said, so when you do something only, you will understand the struggle or the other side of that journey. You're always, it's like a fly attracted towards a light. You only see that light only. So we are attracted by only the beautiful side of things. Like, you go and see a rose, you want to pluck, but there are thorns in the rose which you don't see. There are thorns. So when you do something, then only you understand the challenge. So the idea of finding your passion or something you like is do multiple things. You might fail, but you might learn also. So there is no shortcut also. If you think I like dancing, go and try dancing. And then the chances you may not enjoy dancing sometimes, because when you think here, you think because of you have seen some dancer, you have seen someone dancing on TV, all those moves. You don't understand the pain of practice, the pain of perfecting one move, the pain of practicing 100 times. No one can do that because it's quite boring. Practice is boring. If you practice one shot 100 times, it may be boring after some time. So are you ready to go through that boring phase to get something? So my opinion is, whatever you think is you like, you go and do it. Or the best thing now is, we have people who have done it. So why don't you go and ask them? Sit with them. Tell them that, I want to spend 1 hour with you. Can you spend? They'll be happy. And ask all your questions. You get some answers. And take those answers which comes with you. My simple opinion is, do whatever you like. That is the only way of doing things.
Thank you, sir. And the last question is from Ramya Shri. Sir, how do you convert our strength to opportunity.
Okay. There is again, it's all about your mind. As I said earlier, confidence. There's again a saying, because a weak mind see problems. A balanced mind sees challenges. And a strong mind sees opportunities. So it's the same situation, there are three people. One with a weak mind, balanced mind, and a stronger mind. The weak person will see it's a problem, he won't do it. A balanced person may find it's a challenge, but he might do it, but not with that kind of conviction. But the third person, who is strong-minded, will see an opportunity. There's an opportunity for me to grow. There's an opportunity for me to understand, learn. Then you will find it's an opportunity. It's the same thing only, as I said earlier. As I said earlier also, it is basically whether you find the filter as a block or you look at the gap in between. What you see. So anything is an opportunity as well as an obstacle. It's how you see that. Everything is a learning. There is no one who is a master. Every master has got something to learn. Every day we are all learning. We all make mistakes every day, but we all learn. So what was the question? It's like opportunity. How do you find opportunity, right? So do things. No? Yeah, and when you do, you examine yourself. For example, if you're, again, I'll tell you one more thing. For example, if you do something with commitment, with effort, then only you can improvise. Then you know how you did it. For example, if you're applying for an exam, if you have not studied, you will not be able to examine that why I failed. If you have studied something, then you can understand how I should study. Then you can go and correct on that. That's why you have seen people who are applying for NEET first time, or sometimes they don't get a good score on the first time. But they know that what mistakes they've done in the first time, they correct that. And the second time they might crack. So opportunity is basically do something with a commitment, with an attitude to learn, then you can correct it. Then you might find it's an opportunity.
Yes. So thank you, sir. And there are a lot of, again, feedbacks which has been given for the session. Thank you, sir. It was a wonderful session. You have nicely explained us on the 4 burners of theory and balancing life. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you
so
very much. It was very interesting session. Learned a lot of things, new things have been conveyed in this webinar. Thank you, Disciples India and Shiv Kumar sir, for a wonderful session.
Thank you so much,
Thank you all.
Prasad, for giving me this opportunity. It was a pleasure for me also to interact with you, and beautiful questions, and it actually helped me to think also. Sometimes, as an individual, it makes me, think also. So I also learned a lot from this session. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
And dear participants, just send a message in the group. Kindly fill up the feedback form and you'll be getting your e-certificates later.
Okay, fine. Sure. Okay, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And now I would like to request Professor Mohammad Nadeem, Associate Professor of Department of Commerce and Management, RPA First Grade College, to give the word of thanks. Over to you, Professor Nadeem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Shiv Prasad, sir. A very good evening to all. On behalf of RPA First Grade College and Discipline India, students and staff, I'm glad to be here to express my vote of thanks. A special thanks to our guest speaker, Mr. Shiv Kumar, for accepting our invitation and for being here with us today. Your session and your webinar, both and your thoughts have truly inspired us, sir. I thank our principal, Dr. Tejaswini HM, for always supporting and guiding us. I'm Mr. Shiv Prasad, co-founder and executive director, Discipline India. Thank you, sir, for this session, arranging for the students. I would be failing in my duty if I did not thank my fellow students who have made this day possible. I would also thank each and everyone for you being here and making this online session a wonderful and memorable one. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Shiv Prasad, sir.
Thank you, Professor Nadeem. And before we wind up, I request everyone to stand up for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
So again, thank Mr. Shiv Kumar for being a part of this, the session as a guest speaker, and I thank RPA College for being the associate partner for the event. Thank you all. All of you have a happy weekend and a happy festival also.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.